Hello students, from this academic year 2020-21, new syllabus has been introduced for 12th Science by Maharashtra State Board. There are total 15 chapters in the textbook of biology. Today we are going to learn chapter number 1, reproduction in lower and higher plants. Reproduction is the production of young ones like parents. Reproduction is an essential process as it leads to continuation of a species as well as to maintain the continuity of life. Each organism has its own particular method of reproduction. There are two categories of reproduction. First one is asexual reproduction and second one is sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction. It does not involve fusion of compatible gametes or sex cells. That is, there is no fusion of male gamete with female gamete. Similarly, in asexual reproduction, only one parent is involved. It is the process resulting in the production of genetically identical progeny from a single organism and inherits the genes of the parent. Similarly, the organisms are produced from a common ancestor and as they are genetically identical, they are called as clones. Organisms choose to reproduce asexually by different modes. The first type of asexual reproduction is fragmentation. In fragmentation, multicellular organisms can break into fragments which grow into new individuals. Example, Spirogyra. You know that Spirogyra is a filamentous green algae. That is, it is not differentiated into root, stem and leaves. The plant body appears like thread, hence it is called as filamentous algae. The diagram shows that a single filament of Spirogyra in which the cells are rectangular in shape and they are placed end to end, separated by septa. Inside the cell, nucleus, spiral chloroplast and cytoplasm is present. On maturity, the single filament of Spirogyra breaks into two fragments. These fragments later on undergo continuous cell division and develop into a new Spirogyra. The second type of asexual reproduction is budding. Budding occurs in unicellular yeast, a type of fungus. It takes place by producing one or more outgrowths. These outgrowths are also called as buds. The given diagram shows budding in yeast. The mature yeast cell which undergoes budding is called as mother cell. The mother cell develops a chain of buds which on separation develop into new individual. The third method of asexual reproduction is spore formation. You know that organisms like Mucor rhizopus reproduce by the method of spore formation. Similar method of reproduction is observed in Chlamydomonas. Chlamydomonas is aquatic unicellular green algae. Chlamydomonas show presence of chlorophyll, hence it produces its own food material. Similarly, it shows presence of two flagella, hence it is called as biflagellate. With the help of this flagella, Chlamydomonas can carry the process of locomotion. In Chlamydomonas, asexual reproduction occurs by means of biflagellated motile zoospores which can grow independently into a new individual. In the diagram, we see at the base a parent cell which produce zoospores. On maturity, the zoospores are liberated by breaking the wall of parent cell. These zoospores on maturity develop into chlamydomonas. Other methods of asexual reproduction include binary fission, which occurs in amoeba paramecium. In binary fission, a single mature cell undergoes division into two equal halves, and each half later on develop into an organism. The next method is conidia formation in penicillium. Penicillium is a type of fungus in which number of spores called conidia are produced on the hyphae. On maturity, these conidia fall on a suitable substratum and give rise to penicillium. The next method is called as gemmules formation in sponges. In sponges, an asexual mass of cells is produced inside it. Later on, this asexual mass develop into a new sponge. Vegetative reproduction. Plants reproduce asexually by vegetative parts like a root, stem, leaves and branches. Hence, the new plant produced are genetically identical to their parents and are called as clones. Vegetative reproduction is used to produce desired varieties in agriculture and horticulture. It is also used to produce disease-resistant varieties. The various artificial methods of vegetative reproduction are as follows. The first method of artificial vegetative propagation is cutting. In cutting, small piece of any vegetative part of a plant with one or more buds is used for propagation. In cutting, a branch of pencil thickness is selected. Its length is about 30 cm. Then the branch should possess one or more buds. Later on, this branch is planted in the soil and it later develops into a new plant. Stem cutting is practiced to produce plants like rose and bougainvillea. You all know regarding these plants. Rose and bougainvillea are common plants. The next method of reproduction of cutting is leaf cutting. Example, Sansevieria. Sansevieria is also called as snake plant. In the image we can see Sansevieria plants. In Sansevieria, a single leaf is cut into small pieces and these pieces when planted in soil develop into a new plant. The next method of cutting is called as root cutting. Example, blackberry. Blackberry can be developed by using the parts of the root. These parts of the root when planted in the soil, develop into a new plant of blackberry. The second method of artificial vegetative reproduction is grafting. Here, parts of two plants are joined in such a way that they grow as one plant. In the given diagram, the process of grafting in pair is shown. In this process, plants of two different characteristics are selected and their stem is cut in such a way that they properly fit into one another. The rooted plant of the stem is called as stalk, and the part of the another plant which is to be joined or grafted is called as scion. Scion should have one or more buds. Both scion and stalk are applied with grafting wax, joined properly and covered with a polythene thread. Due to cell division by the meristematic cells, the two different stems get properly joined to each other and live as one plant. Bud grafting or budding is generally practiced in rows. In rows, new varieties can be developed by the process of budding. Budding is carried in rows. For example, a plant of desired characteristics is selected and the bud of the plant is separated. This bud is called as scion, and this bud is inserted on another branch of rose plant on which a T-shaped incision is made, and in this T-shaped incision the bud is inserted. So the plant in which the bud is inserted is called as the stalk and the bud is called as scion. It is later on tied with the thread. After some time, due to cell division, both these parts, that is scion and stalk, unite, and in this way bud grafting is carried in rows. The third method of vegetative reproduction is tissue culture. In this method, plant tissue is grown to give many plantlets. Micropropagation is used at present. Micropropagation is an application of tissue culture in which cells of root or shoot apex are used to produce new plant. In tissue culture process, a tissue is placed on a nutrient medium inside the test tube in laboratory conditions. The tissue undergoes cell division and produce many plantlets which can be grown in the soil. There are many benefits of tissue culture. It can be used to produce disease resistant plant variety with high yielding capacity. Similarly, tissue culture is used to grow and conserve rare varieties of plants. It is also used to reduce the maturation period of the plants. The second type of reproduction is called as sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction involves the fusion of male gamete with female gamete to produce diploid zygote and produce genetically dissimilar offsprings. Variations found in offsprings are useful for survival and evolution of species. The flower is the specialized reproductive part of the plant in which reproduction occurs. Parts of flower are grouped into two whorls. The first one is called as accessory floral whorl consisting of calyx and corolla. The second one is called as compulsory floral whorl consisting of androecium and gynoecium. In the given diagram of flower, the stalk of the flower is called as pedicel. It is also called as flower stem. The enlarged tip of the pedicel is called as a receptacle. On this receptacle, the flower parts are developed. The outermost first whorl of the flower is called as calyx, consisting of sepals. When sepals are free, calyx is called as polysepalous. And when sepals are united, calyx is called as gamosepalous. Calyx carries the function of protection of the inner floral whorls in bud condition, as well as it carries the process of photosynthesis. The second floral whorl of the flower is called as corolla, consisting of petals. Corolla is the colored part of the flower. The main function of corolla is to attract the insect for pollination, and it also protects the flower in bud condition. In some flowers, the petals of corolla are free from each other. Such type of corolla is called as polypetalous corolla. And in some flowers, the petals are united. Such type of corolla is called as gamopetalous corolla. The third whorl of the flower is called as androecium. Androecium is the male reproductive whorl of the flower, consisting of stamen. Each stamen is differentiated into anther, connective, and filament. Inside the anther, pollen grains are produced. These pollen grains further produce male gametes. The innermost whorl of the flower is called as gynoecium or pistil. Gynoecium is the female reproductive whorl of the flower. It consists of stigma, style, and ovary, and inside the ovary, one to many ovules are present. So, flower is the reproductive part of the plant which takes part in the process of reproduction. So, there are different steps in reproduction. These are pre-fertilization, fertilization, and post-fertilization. So in this session, we have learned about asexual reproduction, and in sexual reproduction, we have seen the detailed structure of the flower. So today we will stop here. In the next session, we will learn about the development of male gametophyte and female gametophyte.